All right, guys, we're back with game 3 of CEVO Season 4. TTK going up against two CHUANZ. Really exciting games so far. TTK taking the first game, two CHUANZ taking the second one. And the third game, question mark, question mark, question mark. We'll see. Honestly, two CHUANZ really picked up their game in game 2. Game 1 looked like it was just the communication wasn't there. The plays were not there out of them. But game 2, they really made up for that. And if they can keep that momentum into game 3, then it should be a really good action-packed game. Already some different picks coming out as Batrider makes his way into the pool with Doom and Invoker banned out from TTK. Two Trons getting rid of the AA and Ember Spirit, not really wanting to deal with that Ember Spirit this game. And Batrider Nyx picked up for TTK. Two Trons picking up the VS and the Visage, and it's kind of been a staple now in the meta for VS to get picked up immediately after a Batrider is picked up.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it is such a solid counter as long as it's played correctly, and it's not that hard to be played efficiently as long as you click quick enough to swap your friendly hero out of the lasso. It completely cancels out everything Batrider does. So if a Batrider is quick enough, you might even see him steal away before a Vengeful can do anything about it. Some builds even include Mask of Madness to increase the speed, but Ember, no more hijinks this game. As you mentioned, he's banned out, and Visage, the favorite for two CHUANZ, 3 for 3 tonight on that hero, as well as 3 for 3 for TTK on Nyx Assassin. Clockwork makes a reappearance again and will be the off lane, presumably up against the Nyx Assassin if they match it up that way. If not, against some safe lane farm. And you have to imagine from what we're seeing so far that Batrider will be in the mid lane with Rubik support on top.
I like what two CHUANZ has right now to control the team fight. You have Clockwork with the cogs to kind of disrupt things, Vengeful Spirit with that swap to disrupt things as well, and then Visage with the familiars that can come on through and stun out heroes. So good control in these team fights already from two CHUANZ. We'll see if they can play it well enough to make it worth it. Batrider, Nyx, and Rubik, really good control heroes on that side too. Actually, you have the Rubik who can negate some damage that the heroes are going to do, while also providing some lockdown with that telekinesis. Nyx is great for sneaking around the lines on heroes like, say, Clockwork before he can hookshot in. As the bans come out, we do have Slardar Nyx once again. I think this is the third time, maybe just two. I know he was taken out the first game, but might have been the second game as well. So both teams not really favoring to have him in the pool. And Lycan and Centaur are also taken out. I like how Centaur is kind of starting to gain a little bit of momentum into the game. It's slow going, but he's getting there.
My big... Pardon me.
All right, we lost Ever. It's all right.
Oh man, I had to cough. I
That's
didn't want to
okay.
do it into the microphone. Anyways, what I was gonna say, my big concern here is that two CHUANZ will not have the same elements to actually counter what they did the last game. They had 3 different heroes that had to be focused. They were not able to assemble the Clockwork in game 1, and now we have to worry about it game 2. Nyx will be able to bomb in the Lifestealer as well as on Batrider on a blink. This is going to be a very deadly Nyx if he can get rolling on top of any of these heroes. Unfortunately for two CHUANZ, now needing to come up with a decent carry answer as well as a good mid down this bat, who is not a simple mid lane. If he gets so many of those sticky napalm stacks, he kind of goes off, so Melee doesn't have the best opportunity to lane against him.
And there's not even an option for Bane for two CHUANZ this game. They already picked up their 2 supports early on, and TimeToKill didn't even have to expend a ban on that Bane to pick up this Lifestealer. So kind of making them pay for picking up their 2 supports early on. And I guess they're decent supports, whereas Visage can fit into any lineup, and VS was there to counter the Batrider. So I can't really blame them for the supports that they did pick up. And maybe they don't fear the Lifestealer, although he is a very, very scary carry. Waiting for this 4th pickup for two CHUANZ, but they do have the 2 supports picked up, and then Clockwork, presumably in that off lane, but can always go to the mid lane if the team really needs that to happen for them. So looking for a carry and most likely a mid lane for them, and looking for a support or an off lane for TTK. The Nyx can kind of interchange those 2 roles as needed.
Yeah, absolutely. They could if they so desire. I don't think it's necessary here. I think they should just stick to the formula that they've been running. Even though they didn't win game two, I feel like they had some wins inside of that game. Getting WWD rolling, it's going to be important. But we very well could just see a support-oriented Bat Rider. Nick's in the off lane, and Bat takes the jungle if they so desire to do so. And Lifestealer is tanky enough that I think he could manage to take out a Clockwork one-on-one and be acceptable. Rubik there to back him up. Maybe it jives.
Yeah, we'll see. CHUANZ is really taking their time with this pick, and rightfully so. This is the third game, so there's no safety line.
It's a carry or a
anymore.
mid, right?
Yeah. And there's a lot of options left. For mid, Invoker's banned out, Shadow Fiend is banned out, and Ember's banned out.
Remaining.
So still plenty of options. You have
Shadow
Storm
Fiend has
Spear.
been safe lane recently, though.
Who?
Shadow Fiend has been safe lane
Yeah,
recently,
that's true, yeah, because it's so risky to put him in the mid lane. He's so susceptible to ganks. But it's still an
yeah.
option. It is still an option. But against Bat Rider, oh man.
He's more of a snowball hero than a Storm Spirit, too. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually elect to ban out Storm Spirit here. Then again, you still have Puck to fall back on. So which one is more menacing? Which has a better turnout against a Razor? Razor through phase shift still links, so maybe Storm to get away?
Yeah, that could work. And
But
it
even
helps
then-
out against Lifestealer. The Razor is really good against Lifestealer, is what I mean.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Radiant team
I was just saying against the mid lane matchup that he's going to have to endure. That's what I'm more curious about. Not so much the late game fight. I really think CHUANZ, though, needs some sort of element that comes up big in a team fight. And I'm not really sure what carry heroes left to
10
provide
seconds remaining.
a very strong element. They ban out Slardar, and I think that would have been a very
5
easy
seconds
hero
remaining.
to maintain some sort of snowball. They could run the
Team
Luna
pick.
again, though I'm unsure against the Lifestealer how well it'll do early on, maybe later, but still, it leaves a lot of questions up in the air. I suppose you could go with something more standard, even in maybe picking up... See, I just don't want to commit to just saying any necessary heroes. Like, yeah, Luna's all right. You could go with the Gyro is the one I was going to mention, but I think he kind of gets
10
snuffed out by
seconds
Lifestealer. He would do a lot of AoE against Batrider, Rubik, Nyx, but I don't think he's great against Lifestealer.
5
He's
seconds
acceptable.
remaining.
It's kind of where I was going. I mean, maybe you do run the Gyro because
Reserve
you
time.
rely on Razor to steal the damage from Lifestealer because there's no other good target to steal the damage from, especially if they pick something like Puck. Like, it doesn't really matter so much draining Storm's mana away. He deals more magic damage anyways. It's going to be Weaver instead.
Radiant
Interesting.
team pick.
Yeah, so I guess Weaver's going to be in the offlane then. Against Razor, VS, Visage, it's not that scary. I think he'll be alright. Honestly, I don't think he's going to have too rough of a time.
He could go middle.
He could. You could always put Nyx, or rather Bat Rider in the offlane. That's also an option. There's definitely options for TTK. And I like it when teams have options, because then it kind of makes the other team harder to guess where,
10 seconds remaining.
on their last pick, who they want to pick up if you're not sure what the lanes are going to be.
5 seconds
5
remaining.
seconds left. They do have
As
some
compared to
reserve
not
time.
options.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you don't have options.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a hard carry element, but I didn't think it was going to be that hard carry of an element. But two squads feeling a little bit YOLO going into game 3.
definitely
Popping out
YOLO.
the Phantom Lancer. Needs farm to get going, is going to have to come up big with the Vengeful Spirit. Is going to be very hard to target things for Bat Rider against someone like Phantom Lancer, but they managed to get on a roll and catch him early. It will shut him down almost immediately. So with that being said, it provides him a very hard lane to go up against if it's against the Weaver, or even maybe... I don't think Batrider takes that lane now. Batrider definitely goes mid. Weaver goes off lane, grabs whatever farm he can. They could even aggressive tri lane with Nyx Assassin, Rubik, Lifestealer. That would be interesting.
I don't
So
know.
let's get...
Oh, go ahead. Go with...
Anyways, yeah, let's get down to some introductions as we head into game 3 here, guys. Last game of the night of CHUANZ versus TTK. This best of 3 series is the beginning of week 4. 1 out of the 2 best of 3 series. Each team incurs 470 on the Clockwork in the off lane. 4 Dream supporting on Visage. He will be supporting and joined by Frost, who is also on support, Vengeful Spirit, Potato Smash on Phantom Lancer. The subject of interest here in this one, and Hacks mid on that Razor. They are indeed going to safe lane the YOLO Lancer.
For the dire side, TTK, we have Batrider getting played by XCOM. Mid lane actually is going to be WWD on the Weaver. Enter the Mine on support once again on the Nyx Assassin. Anti-Puff Stomp, the carry for TTK is going to be on Nyx. And finally, Fingo once again on support as well is going to be playing Rubik. What I was going to say though is I almost feel like CHUANZ pickup on that PL was like a panic pickup. It's like the countdown's going down. We don't have a hero in mind. Let's YOLO. Let's pick up PL.
It's not a panic there.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I think there's so much early and mid-game potential out of TTK that they're just going to run over PL. I don't think he's going to have the time and space to farm this game. I mean, what will it take for PL to get shut down? A Batrider with Dust coming on top of him? Maybe a Nyx sneaking around.
He needs to rely on that Vengeful, though, to protect him. And that's going to be what it's up to.
The supports have their work made
and
out for
you do have to take into account, Vengeful is a very strong roam here at the beginning of a game, and so is Visage. Visage might not provide a lot in terms of lockdown, but where he doesn't lock down, he slows and he provides a huge cannon in Soul Assumption, and that's what they need. It is an offensive tri-lane, as I mentioned. So now, Anti-Pup Stomp DD poised to go up against the YOLO Lancer in the bottom lane. So we'll keep an eye on farm there, as the off lane is going to be Batrider versus Clockwork. Mid matchup is indeed Razor up against the Weaver. I think Weaver has a good bid to get away there, but certainly bottom lane going to have to be concerned with the amount of damage that Potato Smash could potentially take. He did a great job farming and carrying last time, and maybe that's why they went all in on the Lancer pick.
Yeah, that's true. He did do a really good job last time. So I can't negate his play by any means. And now Fingo is in some trouble. Stun, Spirit Lance, all goes out, but do they have enough to finish him off? Anti-Puff Stomp's trying to finish off somebody in the process. Really good stun comes through. Lands on 2. 4 Dreams is dead. That's first blood. Going to TTK. Now Puff Stomp's going to fight his way out of this one, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to go down, fighting against Frost to try and take him out. Fingo's going to be able to secure it, as well as enter the mine. Now a stun goes out on Potato Smasher. They might be able to secure this up. One more last hit will do it, but they can't actually manage to do so. For the Dreams, only has Grave Chill, no Soul Assumption. Interesting fight there.
So weird. I still think they trade 2 for 1, but Cancer gets the benefit there because he lives and he goes carry on carry for the kill. So even though First Blood element will provide some extra gold, it is not the extra gold applied to Lifestealer. So saving grace right there for Potato and company, as they don't get a great start out to this lane, but certainly bite back, and they were the aggressors. Had that Impale not landed on all of those heroes, that would have been a different dynamic. So huge Impale coming up there for that Nyx Assassin.
It was huge. And XCOM, actually it's Enter the Mine this time. Sorry, I got my heroes confused here. But yeah, really, really great stun. That was definitely a game changer in this lane. And I think we're going to have action in this lane for a good 10 minutes now. Unless we see some support from through, but they can't. They can't on either side. If you leave TTK, Nyx is going to be in trouble. And you definitely can't leave PL. And that's kind of the strong points of doing an aggressive tri-lane for TTK, is that you force the supports to stay in this lane and babysit Phantom Lancer, which means that they can't roam to, say, the mid lane and deal with WWD, who's going to be getting some decent farm against this Razor.
Farm against Razor is not to be underestimated. I think WWD just needs to have an acceptable start to the game. You see right now, Shikuchi getting locked up, only allowing the stealing of 28 damage, and he doesn't need that much damage with something like Geminate coming in for a last hit. So it's a really good match. There's nothing that WWD can do that single targets hacks. Therefore, his unstable current is not going to shock and slow him down. Just really good play. Now, bottom lane, right on top of 3. They take out the Rubik, but they might trade Potato. Potato on the lamb right now, 100 HP left to his name. Seeing what they can get on top of him as Frost and company are ahead, but the Impale comes through. Stun, not in time. Enter the Mine, in trouble. About to go down. Soul Assumption still at the ready. They could take down Anti-Pup Stomp if they're not careful here, and instead elect to back off. But they lose Lancer this time around, and double kill forthcoming for TTK. Just really rough situation for them to be in, as Lancer is forced to spend some money on a port back into this lane.
Yeah, you get the Rubik, but at the cost of your PL. So definitely not the trades that CHUANZ is looking to do. Earlier on, that was a good trade for them. This one was not a good trade for them. So gonna have to play a little more carefully. It's great to burst down Fingo And I feel kind of bad for the guy because that's kind of the story of his life in this series. Is he's just been bursted down every single game, unfortunately for him. So a little bit of vendetta against him, but he's a really good support if he gets a chance to get going. Looking at creep scores though on this bottom lane, PL is sitting at 13, Nyx is sitting at 7. Mid lane, WWD still holding his own against this Razor. They are actually dead even, stealing a little bit of damage from him, but it's not going to be much. Tower attacking him just a little bit as well, and still doing some harassment with that Shikuchi. Uses time lapse there. I don't know if that was needed.
I don't know. He took a lot from that AoE. Bottom lane looking maybe for another initiation on Potato, whose life is not easy thus far. 16 for 1, but he has gone down once, almost twice, but has 3 assists to his name due to his supports trying to get him into the game. I think the problem lies at the fact that they are leeching a fair amount of experience being right on top of him, and it doesn't necessarily matter for someone like Lifestealer, but Lancer, if you want him to spiral, takes a lot. They go on Potato, already half health. Good stun follow-up. They might just take him down. Sentry is placed. They will get a hold of him and get this kill, and horrible positioning for him. Soul Assumption comes through on Pub Stomp, but not enough to take him down, and therefore they pick up Cancer for free at the cost of maybe 100 G Sentry if you already include it into the lane cost. They had First Blood and plenty of money for the support items.
It's going to be such a rough game for Phantom Lancer. Is he going to a different lane?
They need to swap him. Yeah, they should have swapped him top.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but I don't know. Against Batrider is still a rough lane. He needs the support, so they are coming over, so that's going to be all right.
They just need one support. They just need the Venge to be close by, kind of pull from the side of the jungle. This is just my opinion, though. I think they just rotate one up there as long as they keep an eye on the tower and who's rotating. They already have an OBS that was up there. They could just potentially refresh it. Mid lane, Hacks taking some harassment right now on top again with WWD. Both are trading haymakers back and forth between one another, but the thing to keep an eye on is the fact that Weaver is game leading in last hits. He's 2,500 net worth just a mere 6 minutes into the game, and it could kind of get into a position that it's a point of no return, especially if he gets on top of some of these supports like Avenge, who have not had a good time on the bottom lane and therefore able to get taken out. So Clock finally arrives on bottom. XCOM has rotated. They will elect to rotate the tri-lane up top. Rubik there, all by his lonesome. He has no mana. Why don't you click on him and see that he has no mana? This is really poor play right now. Now they want to have a go right on top of the tower. Grave Chill applied. Fingo in trouble. Right on top, throws him up in the air, and anti-Pub Stomp is there to secure maybe something for his team. Looking to chase. He's going towards Potato. Potato doesn't have enough for Doppel. He's in trouble right on top, Rue. The rage wears out. Lance applied. Pub Stomp overextending his stay. Potato still in trouble, though. Can they manage to body block? Jumps in front. Enter the mine in trouble. Grave Chill applied. Carapace comes out. Is it too late? It's a pretty low level with Fingo not being at any better shape. Still not able to secure the kill on Potato, and still, though, all the meanwhile, Potato not afforded the opportunity to farm. He gets a kill, but at the cost of his entire health pool, no regen from his supports, as they are pretty much dead broke. The only one with regen is Vengeful with Tangos, but those can only come up, what, once every minute or so, and they may have to yet rotate him again. I think it would be a wise decision to rotate him again and force the movement. It doesn't matter where Clock ends up in this game. He's already level 7. He's useful enough.
He is. It's just that it's so much time wasted for Potato Smash. He goes back to the bottom lane. It's funny because they are stopping his momentum, but Potato Smash is still getting some farm. He's sitting at 22, so it's not like he's gotten 0 farm whatsoever, but he is level 4, and he does have pretty squishy HP. So when we see someone like a Batrider who nears his Blink Dagger, I think it's going to get even scarier for Potato Smasher, but we'll see how it goes in the long run. I think we're going to see a lot of rotations come out really, really soon from TTK, just with that Batrider, and then the Nyx as well, who's almost level 6 on top of that. So with those two heroes, there's not really going to be too much area for this PL to farm safely as long as you have some form of detection. And now Into the Mine is on the bottom lane, sees that PL is down there, so is hoping to stop some of the momentum even some more, but Potato Smasher's trying his darnest to get back into this game with the farm, has already picked up about 8 CS just from being down here, and it looks like they're going to try and have it go into the mine. He does not have level 6 yet, so this should be an easy kill for two CHUANZ. Potato Smasher should be the one to get the last hit. They definitely have the time to do so, so they should play it safe as long as they have enough lockdown, and he almost gets away, but I don't think he's going to make it as the Spirit Lance comes out once again. Rocket is going to connect. He's still living, still kicking, but it's just a matter of time. Lance is stunned on 2, but he's about to run into Dreams, who has some soul assumption. Phantom Lancer picks up the kill with that Spirit Lance just as they needed to do, but it took a little bit of time. I guess he missed maybe a creep wave there, made up for it with a kill, which is about the equivalence of it, so it wasn't a bad kill. They got the experience too, but he shared it with 4 heroes, so I guess
I'm
it's
rather
not that
worried about the state of affairs that's going on over in middle. WWD, Ring of the Aquila, going to have its treads shortly here. 1,300 in the bank. Early LS spells issues for Venge locking down this hero, and therefore might create some problems. Clock on the high ground, looking to see if he can find the Batrider, who is already headed back towards the bottom lane where Potato is farming. Lifestealer takes this opportunity to farm himself. He went phase boots for that early aggression, but he should follow this up with an armlet. I don't expect anything less out of him. Double damage pinged out. Finally, an opportunity for Hacks to maybe get ahead. He almost has his mechanism, which will allow him to kind of push into some towers, maybe, as well as afford his team an opportunity to fight. Clock right on top of Rubik. Gets a good hook shot onto Anti-Pup Stomp. Now in trouble. Rage to try and get away against the battery assault. They need to forego this chase. It was a valiant effort to try. Good hook shot follow-up. Found the Rubik unexpectedly as he's been roaming through the jungle all the meanwhile. But man, this buys PL so much time and space, and they did exactly what I said. Frost on support to make sure nothing bad happens further to this Lancer early on into the game. He needs to just get a Diffusal Yasha, and he's going to be viable, but instead he's actually going to go Vlad's first. I still think Diffusal and Yasha are two heavy damage items. Increases your attack speed into a good position. And already you see Enter the Mind right on top. He doesn't have mana burn, but he's able to stay on top of Potato and deal a fair amount of damage very quickly.
TP's coming to the top lane to try and defend it. 2 coming in. Nyx does get most of his mana burn. Doesn't even have anything for the stun. There comes the stun. It's now available with the 1. Dreams is going to be in some trouble. XCOM taking so much damage right off the bat though. But they do manage to take down Dream. No, he gets a kill before he dies. Look at him man mode. This is a beefy Visage. Takes down 2 before he actually dies. But they do finally take down the tanky Razor. And now Frost is in some trouble. TP to the top lane to try and help out before go down. Only survivor is PL on the bottom lane, and space created might not be the kind of space they were hoping for two
No,
CHUANZ.
WWD lives the entire fight, and that is a huge problem with Weavers in games. You need to shut them down early on, but now he's going to start spiraling, especially if they get one even half decent team fight under their belt where he lives. They rotate the tri-lane back towards bottom. You see Lifestealer showing up, already dealing some damage. He's got 1,500 after that team fight, therefore should have armlet shortly. In the meantime, Razor finishing up the mech and maybe moving into a better situation where he lives in that team fight instead of dies because of the added armor and how tanky he is through Unstable Current. Gang forthcoming right now. WWD locked down. Dust, Expect, time lapse forced out, and they weren't able to finish him off before, but Fingo, the next target of interest, gets locked down. Battery Assault and Familiar should be enough to take him out, and the Rocket attains the last hit as Clockwork is on a roll. 470, providing his team every avenue to cut their way back into this game. Even though they're tied on kills, you have to worry about the state that both Weaver and Lifestealer are in. Lifestealer is 2 for 2, but the Weaver is 2-0-2, has a fair amount of farm, highest CS in the entire game, 75 for 5, and net worth 6,300 against the Razor, who's only at 4,700. And now initiation's coming. Enter the Mine. Locks down 470. They immediately swap out of the lasso and actually swap the bat, which I didn't know you could do. I thought you had to swap the lasso target, and this is a horrible fight for TTK. The Weaver did not have time lapse, therefore they're going down. Lifestealer in a heap will go down, not before he takes down Visage, but Visage takes down 3 while going down. Bingo on the run. Hacks to follow up. XCOM trying to flame break and buy him some time, but it's not going to be enough from the look, is it? Yeah. He is up and away at least at the cost of 3, and TTK searching for answers as Potato still is afforded even more time, catching up at 5K net worth and Enter the Mine forced onto the bottom lane to see what they can do, and they're going to have a go. Clock right there, forces out a Vendetta, dust applied immediately. Now he's in trouble. Right on top of 3, nothing he can do. He goes down and yields a tier 1 tower, and TTK, just as quickly as they were ahead, throws the game right back into the court of two CHUANZ, who goes up by a goal differential of 2K, and XP almost dead even proof.
Oh man, space definitely created for that PL. He hasn't really been contested in the past 8 minutes or so, 7 minutes, so he's definitely getting the farm he needed. Razor in some trouble. Next bomb loaded. They jump onto him, and there's no way he's getting out of here alive unless he can get out with that TP, but he can't. Flame Break is going to cancel that right on through. And finally, Bat Rider is a crucial element in getting that kill, but so far he hasn't done too much, surprisingly. With that early Blink Dagger, it's hard to find a target for it. Other than the support heroes, you have Clockwork, who's fairly tanky, hard to take down. Razor also with the mech is quite tanky. Fingo in some trouble, has a knack for getting himself into trouble as well as whoever that was last week that we mentioned. WWD there to try and help out, but it doesn't matter. He's just always getting picked off.
I don't remember who it was last week, but now WWD may be finding an opportunity here as Lancer is forced to go ahead and get away. Frost going to go down. Soul Assumption right on top of XCOM, and Visage trying to do something. Has another fully charged Soul Assumption. If he gets it off, it's going to take down Batted. Snipes him out. Familiar still up, stunning down 2 on top of the tier 1. No follow-up just yet, but it will come. 470 right on top. If he can land a hook in 15 seconds, we may see something, and the tier 1 is down. I don't think Pub Stomp realizes how many of the Radiant are close by, but instead finally backs off as they assert their numbers on that mid lane. Good pick for them to take down a Visage who is kind of, I don't want to say snowballing, because one doesn't exactly snowball on a Visage, but this Visage you have to be concerned about, because he doesn't have to invest into a mech. That's already been given to the Razor. Therefore, you already see him 15 minutes into a game investing into Ags. Therefore, an extra familiar may be in play earlier than anticipated. And if WWD gets locked in a stun set, he won't be able to do anything. He's farming towards LS. He's tapered off dramatically, only at 7.6K, while Lancer is a mere 1,400 behind. Huge difference from where he started.
Yeah, he's made up a lot. His team has done a really good job in forcing the attention of TTKs to other places on the map by taking the tier 1 tower mid, the tier 1 tower on top. It's giving PL all the space on bottom that he needs to farm, and with that flats, he also has the option of going to the jungle as well. So kind of trying to stop some of that by warding off all 3 of these camps. They are going all in on trying to stop this PL from farming. I guess I mean, they have enough vision on the map, but they don't have map control.
I have to say, you know, PL again is left alone. This is going to be bad for TTK. The only time they would win in this situation is if WWD has a fight where he just lives through it. Now, initiation potentially forthcoming. Fingo trying to spot it out. Steals an actual AoE from Razor, but he's going to go down. Good snipe. Again, 470, just a monster this game. They're hunting for PL on the high ground. They have the vision. Can they take him down? They find out which one. The Infest Bomb, enough to take down all the illusions, and Potato goes down in exchange for all of the advantage they've garnered on bottom. But now they know WWD's exposed. One Visage Familiar stun, but still unable to quite lock him down with the hook shot on cooldown for another 30 seconds. They have haste, and Cogs maybe should have gone for it, noticing that their Lancer was in trouble, but now he knows the Ancient Hill is warded away. Razor on top of Pub mid forces out a port. Not going to be able to stop that, unfortunately. Visage had no familiars in the neighborhood. One of the only stuns they have to stop that, other than, I guess, Clockwork with a hook shot, maybe Battery Assault if he's close enough, but really the only other one in play is the VS throwing out the magic missile.
It's funny because they forced PL to go there. By warding all the other camps, they knew that there was one spot left to go, and they warded it so that they knew when he'd go there. So they really kind of played with Tuchon's mind there, making sure that they could have a spot for that PL
but
to
at
get
what
picked
cost?
off.
That's all 4 of their obs for how long, you know?
Yeah, it's rough. Oh, hold on. Looks like they're going to have to go on anti-Pup Stomp. Hookshot in, Cogs. WWD is there. Pup Stomp man's up, but he's losing all of his damage, and Razor is gaining all of that damage. So they actually don't kill him. They back off. They're fearful of that tower being so close with TPs to come on through. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's gonna pay off. He still has these 2 spots here. He has lanes he can farm in still. With the bottom tower still alive, he has that option for him.
Radiant's bottom tower
Lifestealer
is
went
under
in
attack.
drums, and that just confuses me. LS is nearly finished up here on Weaver, just needing the money for the recipe. Has enough to buy back, I guess, if he wants, with Potato making his way to kind of one-on-one. He doesn't have the LS yet, so therefore the Spirit Lance is going to be a huge detriment. Potato himself has Yasha up now. I imagine it has to be a Diffusal Blade coming through. The one thing I do have to mention is I do not like Quelling Blade picked up on carries at this level of play, but I think this is like the 2nd or 3rd time he's maybe done it, and it's working. Look at that Lance just connect. WWD has no answer for it, and if he gets hit with another, he's going to be forced not only out of the lane, he might even have to time-lapse. He barely has enough time-lapse and throw out Shikuchi. So finally some backup headed his way. XCOM looking to maybe see if he can grab the Lancer. No Naix bomb loaded this time around. They have 3 ops. They know right where Potato is. So coming in, here they go. Dust applied, hook shot misses. Familiar seeing if they can snipe. Good stuns, 2 in a row. XCOM down, vengeful with the KB. Fingo on the run, forcing out maybe some horrible plays. No haste this time. Lift out, good swap again. Frost coming up huge right now, as well as the Visage support system clicking on all cylinders for CHUANZ as they steal away 2 kills from TTK, who is on the prowl for some of their own.
Radiant's middle tower is
CHUANZ
under
is
attack.
playing so well this game. Honestly, they
Radiant
are putting
structures
pressure in the
are
mid lane,
fortified.
and then when they know that PL needs help, they're already rotating down there before the attack
Radiant's
even
middle
comes on top
tower
of
is
him.
under
So
attack.
they've just got so much
Dire's
movement, and
bottom
they
tower
seem
is
to
under
sense when
attack.
PL is going to be in trouble, and when he's not, they're making sure to take down towers and push out the lanes. And
Dire's
just look how
bottom
much map
tower
control they
has
have at this
fallen.
point. It's so good for this PL. He has so many options for farm, despite his jungle being warded. And now
Radiant's middle
the
tower
mid lane is
under
getting
attack.
pounded down on from Naix, anti-pup stomp, doing some damage to it, gets to half HP, but has to back up now at this point. Into the mine, gets hookshotted from 470, cogs in as well. Dust is applied on top of that, so there's no way for Enter to get out of this. Pops the Carapace to try and buy him some time, but it's not going to be enough. Frost even there from behind to secure a kill that might have otherwise gotten away, and now they group up as 5. Very, very strong at this point with Razor level 14 mech, and then the Vlads on top of a level 11 Phantom Lantern. They feel confident enough to push on through, and I don't think they can defend. Yeah, they're not even close to defending this tower in mid, so this one's definitely going down.
PL train is rolling as we see CHUANZ right on top. Fortification expand, they want to defend. WWD incoming. Right on top of them though is 470, shutting out Anti from the cogs. He actually gets cogs stolen and shuts out Anti again. He has to down 2 sets of cogs, swap up to save 470. WWD in pursuit, porting on in is Enter going to lock down, and 2 go down for CHUANZ. Not what they expected in exchange for a tier 2, 3 if Frost doesn't get away, and he's in a lot of trouble. Drum, charge, expend. LS is indeed up. There's nothing he can do to get away from this one. That makes 3 in exchange for a tier 2, and not only that, proved this is exactly what I was talking about. Not the hero you want to give it to. That is the Weaver, who now can take Roshan handily with his team in tow and grab a Desolator in the backfield, and that will provide not only Lifestealer a lot more damage, who's picked up a Maelstrom, potentially Mjolnir soon, but you're just providing so much in terms of damage from that backfield. Just going to be able to bomb from downtown, and there's nothing CHUANZ is going to be able to do about it now. Their supports will get eaten alive.
Roche is spotted out, but they can't capitalize on that at all. Gets denied! The Visage play comes in before WWD can get it picked up, and now he's caught in the cogs. Dust is going to reveal him. He's already used time lapse. He's trapped. He has Lincolns to help him out. Is there going to be anybody nearby to go on him? And the answer is no. They do back up. Oh, that Aegis deny from the Familiar.
Not only
Such
that,
good play.
XCOM, or they finally get the Nyx revenge for the Aegis snipe the last game around. Hacks right on top of WWD. Ends up that he moves away. But yeah, it was XCOM on Nyx Assassin who stole the Aegis last game. And now they're finally able to not only kill a Nyx Assassin in exchange for the Aegis, but they deny it as well. Man, some crazy Roshan plays this evening. maybe digging two Schwans back in. Weaver, instead of going Deso, is going to go for the MKB. And I'm not confident that it's the correct choice, but it's certainly going to still be a lot of damage from him in the backfield. Just needs to be wary that Razor doesn't steal a whole lot in terms of damage from him. And you have to take into account as well that Lifestealer is not exactly rolling in terms of items. It's 23 minutes in. He has Maelstrom, 2100 to his name. Could go Mjolnir and smoke up. Nags Bomb loaded. XCOM on the prowl on Batrider with Enter the Mine on Nyx Assassin in tow. Let's see who they can lock down. And they all want to gather up themselves for their own dust, telling one another to get back. They had an obs. They should have been able to spot some of that down. And Potato is going to go down. Proof right on top of him. They don't lock him just yet. Clock trying to do anything he can to save the carry. It won't happen. He's going to go down anyways, but will they be able to buy back? Enter going down. Anti also going to go down in a matter of moments if they can get a 4-stat forward, but he still gets the kill. The ability of his reach on Lifestealer is unreal. Hacks still trying to get a kill, but XCOM luckily will squeak away with a well-placed Invis rune prior to the fight in the top river. He gets away having picked that up and walks off top lane instead of the usual path, and therefore avoids some much-needed AoE damage he had to have in order to live. But man, just Lancer every turn. Potato is just not having the opportunity to farm. The only issue is that the longer this game goes on, if he's afforded some farm opportunities, that's all he's going to need. WWD getting his LS popped on bottom, and they're not going to be able to make anything of this, I don't imagine.
Ooh, hookshot does miss with WWD, but he's going to be annoying to deal with. He has the split push available on that Weaver and already got the tower on bottom lane to almost dead. It was full HP before he even started on it. So while they traded the Nakes and the PL on that Ancient fight, WWD was definitely pushing the lane and trying to make something else happen. Some really offensive wards are coming down now from TTK, so hoping to get a good pick up on at least the PL in these fights, but they've got to make sure they don't lose the Lifestealer in the process. And he's not entirely too tanky right now. He does have some decent damage output and attack speed to boot on top of that, but you still have to worry about this PL. He picked up Boots of Travel actually, which signals that he's hoping, I guess, to split push. I don't know. I felt like maybe Boots of Travel this early wasn't the best option for him.
I'm indifferent. I mean, there's so many other items that a lot of these heroes could have gone that I just don't know if it's worth commenting on. Razor has his Ags finished up, is going to be a huge tower threat in his own right against a split pushing Weaver, which is a very effective foe. Gemini just deals so much in a short span of time that he can bulldoze down towers, especially once he eventually finishes up this MKB, adds Desolator into his arsenal. And in terms of item pickups, I mean, I still stand by everything that I say. I know someone pointed out in chat that Quelling Blade is something that you may want to pick up as a melee hero against something like a tri-lane, especially if you plan on jungling later, but I still don't see the benefit. PL has ways of tanking through his illusions. I disagree with it still. I don't see the benefit, but it's all subjective. You have to remember that we disagreed with the Vanguard pickup on Spec last game. It didn't lose him the game, though. It actually garnered a lot of advantage on the carry for anti-pub stomp for it to be able to just live in team fights. 67 HP at certain instances, so it's funny how some of these things pan out. And you see Nakespawn loaded up on XCOM. They thought that was actual Lancer, but instead it is an illusion. So good job of microing away is Potato, trying to stay alive as they are continually on the hunt for him, trying to close in and encroach upon their side of the map. Some very offensive obs wards may prompt out a gem as Enter the Mind sniped away. Carapace applied, hack stun down, but enough damage comes through for two Schwans to take him down. But the response might yet be on Potato. Potato farming up, doesn't find Anti just yet. Now they see XCOM. Fingo is also there, but instead they're going to see if they can lock down WWD. If they can get a hold of him, it might be a Tetzerman, and Clock is aiming for an angle, but he doesn't have hook shot. He's just looking to maybe force staff in and get up some good cogs positioned well enough to lock him in place. And instead, it's TTK now grouping up against them as Lancer ports over to bottom. And there's the point in your Boots of Travel, Proof. He's going to be able to finish up his Diffusal Blade, and I get it was a heavy investment, but I think they're really planning for this game to go much later. And do you agree that they really need to pick up a gem at this point of the game on someone like Visage? I think it's beyond necessary. He's got Ags. He's not the subject of interest in these team fights, and they need to take down this Vision in order to save their PL time and space.
Yeah, the wars have been really great out of TTK. So with the map control that they have, I agree that it would be a good idea to get rid of the Vision that they have on their side of the map. That's coming out of TTK, but they're so good. CHUANZ is so good at taking the focus out of their PL, and the focus was so heavy on that PL earlier on in the game with all the lane switch ups that we have. But now in the mid lane, Hack's going to be in some trouble. His team's going to be coming nearby, but it's not going to be enough. Clockwork getting in on the action, but he might just be sacrificing himself as well. Hack's still alive, but not for long. Lasso is applied to him, and now 470 trying to make a run for it. He has his team nearby if they so need it. Visage in the area if he wants to swap out, but Visage familiars aren't going to thwart any more efforts from TK's part. But they got the Razor. They didn't lose anybody in the process, but PL is still farming ever, and that's going to be the biggest issue this game for TTK, is that they haven't been able to deal with this PL enough this game. But look at Weaver.
That was
though.
Yeah, I have to say the net worth is indeed inflated on someone like Weaver. It's not bad, but eventually he's going to kind of six slot himself out, and it's going to be up to whether or not CHUANZ can shut him down. If they get one good set of familiar stuns, it doesn't matter. He can have all the LS in the world. Lancer should be able to shut him down and drain his mana quick enough that he might not even be able to time lapse in a correct situation. He's moving towards Heart, grabs Vitality Booster, and that was just a very recent pickup for him, while Clock looks to fix his Ags into a position that they can kind of wrap their mind, I guess, around this game. They need to continue to buy space for Lancer, who's at 12k net worth, tied up with Lifestealer, who, again, I mentioned he was going towards Mjolnir. The reason why you go Mjolnir in this instance is because it provides a very solid AoE element against Lancer illusions, but I think it was unnecessary when you consider they have so many ways to initiate with Lifestealer that Infest should deal with a lot of those images that we're discussing. Hacks, Ags up against the actual tower, coupled with the ultimate, makes for an epileptic event. Hookshot on a fake Batrider gets no one, and now Batrider grabs Hacks. Good swap immediately out from this VS, and Anti on the run. He's taking so much damage. He's not going to be able to fight. WWD, it's all on your shoulders right now. Going up against the Visage, unstoppable. About to take out another. Hacks is in trouble. Potato is also on the lamp. XCOM looks to be going down, but WWD is on a roll. Shikuchi forward needs to catch up to these heroes as the Razor ultimate expires. Potato is tripped up. Where do they have vision? It's a gem on the Batrider, who is now just sniping away, and CHUANZ in no shape to fight. Ports out and saves only the lives of Razor and Clock as Lancer goes down.
That gem pickup was a really good idea for XCOM. Definitely needed for their team too, just to be able to deal with that PL and not invest so much and so heavily into these wards. Since they already are buying so many Observer wards to try and stop his farm from continuing. But really good fight from TTK. They're going to try and push this tier 2. It's at full HP though, and we're going to see a decent defense from CHUANZ, so I don't think they should do it. They have the Batrider in prime position to pull somebody back, but Hookshot goes in, does connect with the anti-puff stomp. They weren't prepared for that. He mans up. Telekinesis is going to help secure this for him, but Puff Stomp goes down. Unstoppable streak going to Razor. Unfortunately, XCOM is going to go down, tries to TP out, but doesn't make it in time. Why hang around? You knew everybody's there. WWD in the backfield has time lapse to get himself out of this, but it might not be enough. We have Into the Mine coming back, hoping to land a stun. Does land it on Hacks. Only a one-man stun though, as PL comes back into the fight. Just blitzes down. WWD gets his wicked streak for 1,000 gold. Oh, that was a big misstep for TK. That's going to be 5-man now. And 2 huge killing sprees too. That's a lot of gold.
Yeah,
I don't know why they didn't back up.
Look at Lancer. He's 1,000 away from getting a Reaver now, and he's got the lane rolling. If he uses these illusions, he can farm the jungle at the same time and then rejoin for a decent push. I don't think he's even going to challenge the tier 3, but oh man, farm abound. Finally, something breaks loose for CHUANZ, who goes up 31 to 25. Just when they seem like they're struggling, they always come back with a big team fight, and it's amazing to kind of see it all happen. They lost a gem, which I think is going to be the worst part, and they actually keep the gem on Venge, which I don't know if I agree with. They have been focusing out the Visage a fair amount, and you see they're going to have a go on Roche in the meantime. They have a minus armor element in Venge's kind of line AoE, And then they also have the Visage to throw up Medallion. So they're just warding and making sure that Weaver doesn't get on top of them. Again, Medallion going to get applied as Potato picks up his first Aegis of the game. This is Roshan number 2 for those of you guys counting in the viewers lounge, I guess, more or less. And that's going to mean Cheese is up on the next one. And I imagine this game is going to go to the distance. Good hook shot on top of XCOM, who can just float out of this one, but not before he gets stunned up or at least slowed out by the cogs. He doesn't go down, so able to squeak away with his life. And earn charge applied to Familiar. Okay, sure. Resolves.
Why not? He's got 7. He doesn't need that many. Just throw one away. No problem. Are they have the gym now too, or a gym of their own rather. Actually, no, they got it. They did get it from the Bat Rider who went down. So have a gym of their own. They have basically full map control, full vision all over the map as well. Only one ward down here. Wow, that drew a lot. Sorry, I didn't mean to draw that much. But one ward down there in the jungle, but it's not a really effective ward right now. PL's sticking with the team for the most part now, so he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in these fights and not so much farming the jungle. I mean, look at his items. Diffusal, Manta, will have Heart pretty soon with that Vitality booster already picked up, and he has an Aegis, so it's not like he can just jump in and pick him off real quick anyways. And Bat Rider going again, grabs off the Clockwork. They managed to pick him off before losing any of their own heroes, and VS also goes down from WWD in the backfield. They're still chasing for Dreams. Familiars are going to buy him some time, but not enough time. 3 supports down. I don't know if that was necessary on CHUANZ's part.
Yeah, no. Lancer trying to look and see if he can make something happen. Lasso is on cooldown. He gets up another illusion before finally backing off. Dust applied, but to nothing but said illusions. And look at the mana drain coming out. He needed to focus those on the tower before they went down, and even they recognize that fact. So not a lot of damage going to be applied to the tier 3, but Lancer might run in to Lifestealer, and does indeed. Needs to use Doppelwalk immediately, and actually just Manta's up. He's on the correct target, though, eating right through Potato. Potato in a lot of trouble. Look at the AoE, and they're man-fighting their way through. And Aegis is forced out. Pub Stomp, the victor of that man-mode exchange. Enough procs get him over the hill, and they want blood in return, and they're not going to get anything in exchange for that Aegis, unfortunately.
It was a long time coming. It didn't happen on the Spectre and Morphling just because the team was always around. So this whole Potato Smash up against anti-Pup Stomp was long overdue. They finally got it, but it was just an Aegis. It could have been important in a later team fight, but at least PL didn't get picked off there. He would not have man-moded that if he did not have the Aegis in his inventory. That's one thing that is for certain, but anti-Pup Stomp does get out, picks up the S and Y at this point now as well. Weaver actually picks up the Butterfly on top of that, so it's going to negate a lot of these attacks with some missed chances from the PL, as well as Razor. So hopefully that will be a really important pickup for TTK's team. But it's such an even game, and that's been the story for all these games in this series so far. The gold graphs are very, very close, only a 5k difference. The XP graphs are a bit larger of a gap, with TTK taking the lead there, really spreading out the experience. And look at the levels. The supports are low down, but we were sitting at 23 just because he's been split pushing these lanes so effectively.
You know, the only difference comes in the graphs of 15k XP lead for TTK, and that's the advantage that they're feeding off of. But still, I don't think it's much if they find themselves in another poor pushing position. And again, the longer they take to close out this game, the worse it's going to be for them. Lancer will get to a point of no return where he has an element like Heart. He almost has that Reaver. He's sitting at 2.8k still since that last team fight. It's been about, I want to say, 3 or so minutes ago. So 3 minutes ago, he was in a position to kind of have almost the same amount of gold, maybe about 600 less, but still, that's not a lot of progression for someone like him. And TTK awarding themselves an opportunity to maybe shut things down right here as they migrate towards the bottom lane, as well as mid, going to apply the last amount of pressure they need to down this 179 health tier 2 tower with 2 CHUANZ pinging it. Maybe they want to defend. Lancer sends in at least one element to kind of stave off the creep push, but man, it's such a weird game. Roshan not up for another 3 minutes and some change. You have a Lancer who's still farming. Weaver's the only thing that can show up against him to try and shut him down. But at the same time, TTK has a lot of control on the map.
Yeah, Nake's fell off a little bit in the mid part of the game. I don't think he has such a good run as he was expecting to have.
Next level cuts. Look at that timing. Such time. Very wow.
Yeah, he's making great use of his images this game, whether it's baiting off spells like a lasso, or cutting the creep wave. He's definitely made some things happen with those illusions. It's anybody's game. It's such a close game, and WWD is still looking for options. He goes to the bottom lane. Look at him just eat through Potato Smasher. He did a lot of damage there in, what, 3 attacks?
He went Butterfly instead of Desolator, too. I hope he gets a Desolator. Maybe he was relying on Lifestealer to get it. I don't like it on Lifestealer here, nor do I like it on the Nyx Assassin, who is yet to item progress for hell of a long time. He's taken on a very hard support role. You see dust and smoke on his person, and still 2 minutes shy of Roshan even potentially respawning. It could be as late as 5 minutes here. And so really, Fingo hasn't even item progressed, yet you still see growth on heroes like Visage, who has managed to pick up a gem. I think he was a correct gem target all along, and soon maybe an Ags on someone like Venge, which has already used Swap to the fullest of its potential. Man, I cannot emphasize how big Frost has come up with some of these swaps. It has just been saving left and right and throwing Bat into horrible positioning.
Yeah, you either save a hero or you get Bat into the fray of your own fight. So as long as you break that lasso, that's the biggest thing. So you can swap either heroes and it will break that lasso. Why is the... Everybody's here still, right? Yeah, nobody's disconnected. That's
yeah,
good,
welcome,
at least.
welcome to game 1, round 2 is what I feel like we might not be seeing a disconnect. No, I guess it was just a random pause. WWD making his way towards the bottom lane. You know, I at this point of the game, 39 minutes in, I don't think Lifestealer is as tanky as I would like him to be. You saw last fight, he ran away, but still WWD managed to clean it up, and now engagement imminent almost as Clock looks to scout out Roche, but will not find. Hookshot misses. Now in a lot of trouble is two CHUANZ if they elect to engage. XCOM right on top of Potato. Potato caught out in this fire. Healed up, but now he's taking so much damage, not only out of Infest, but he needs to just kill XCOM and run. The rest of their team in the backfield getting blitzed out as Visage and Clockwork fall down. The Hookshot partial reason to it as they trade 2 for 1 XCOM for both for Dream and for 70.
So do you think it's going to be a Deso next on Weaver, or does she go into something like a Heart to give her some more tank, or what? I would like to see the Deso just because he's been split pushing so much.
Like, is this seriously, like, are we going to see a Rapier? Is this for realsies? I don't think it's crit.
It could be a Daedalus.
I don't think it's Berza. I don't think it's crit. It doesn't make sense. Frost, huge swap up on Anti, and now Anti in a lot of trouble, has no way to respawn. Aegis is not up as Roshan is just around the bend here. Nyx also goes down, yields a gem. 3 familiar stuns right on top of Fingo, coupled with Soul Assumption, allows him time and space to pick up Gem, with Rubik going down in the background to Hacks. WWD next on the list. They have the Gem to spot him if they can manage to keep him down. Frost needs the single target. The single target is down for another 4-3-2. Can they manage the lock? No, they can't. WWD wiggles away. Clock again missing Hookshot where it matters most. It hurts in the feels, Prove. It hurts as PL now looks to split push on the top lane. XCOM, though, not wanting to see that happen. Not enough mana. It actually grabs an illusion doppelwalk, but WWD there to support it. Has a ton of damage. In the moment he locks in against Potato, but his team is also around the bend. No Ags on Clock, so his Hookshot is taking some time to regen, but Hacks has his Ags and ultimate ready in 10 seconds. They're going to press for Arax. Just under 5 seconds here in a matter of moments for Lifestealer to respawn, and the tower already taking a third of its health, and I don't think they should go, but instead Lancer just kind of sends in some of those illusions to see what damage he can get done, and his team backs off, pocketing a victory. Just under a minute to go before we see Roshan once more.
It could be a divine. It could be. If they get the Aegis with a divine, it means WWD is going to be pretty much unstoppable. He would have to sell something
It's
in
going
order
to be,
pick
though.
that up.
Why not?
Nope, he
He's
bought something. It's not.
12 and 2?
It's a crit
It is.
stick.
Aw,
Aw.
Burze? Aw, break my heart.
WWD.
Break my heart more, team. God.
Everybody's
wild witch
disappointed in you.
doctors.
It would have been risky. I think they had to secure the Aegis in order to do it, and I don't think they were
Proof.
in a position to do so.
There's a YOLO Lancer in this game. Let's be real. Let's be real. It needs to happen. We need to see a divine. And smoke up right now. 2 Schwans and pause.
There's the
and,
disconnect.
and DC.
We knew it was coming. We just didn't know when.
They had the senses kind of tingling a little bit ahead of time there. And they were like, yeah, let's pause and just see. Nope, we're good. Oh, you're not good? All right, we'll pause.
Yeah, he must have been lagging or something. You never know. I guess this is a good time for plugs, though. So you guys, make sure you follow the CEVO Twitter. It's at CEVO. You'll get notified of all the matches that will be happening on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and any other day that we happen to pick up for another rescheduled match that happens to be cast. I can be found at ProveDota, and my buddy here, Ever, can be found at EverX. It's been a great night casting with you guys so far, and I'm excited to see how this game ends. It's been so close all game long, 35-30 at this point. Only a 10k difference in gold, with a slight lead going in the favor of actually TTK still, and XP is still in their favor as well. So they, by all means, are not out of this game, but they've got that PL they have to deal with.
I'm still concerned the fact that it's 43 minutes and this game hasn't been shut down, and you see PL, like finishing up items like Heart and having 1400 to his name. Looking at buybacks, he doesn't quite have enough to buy back, but all that is the difference of is being a part of maybe 1 kill in this next fight, potentially coupled with creeps, but doesn't necessarily need to be. Just 300 or so gold to his name. He's going to be sitting pretty to buy back. So here we go. Pause is finally up. Game underway once again. Frost looking for a snipe on XCOM, going to find it. Swap immediately, followed up by a blink away, and they get away. And another miss hook shot out of clock and miss initiation. I don't know if they wanted to take that hook, though. All of TTK was on the hill. That would have been a horrible turn of events had something happened there.
It definitely would have been a really entertaining team fight. It would have been really entertaining. And XCOM, he didn't use much other than the Blink Dagger and the Force Staff, but he still had his lasso. This is going to be a big Roshan fight as TTK attempts to do it. They know that CHUANZ is nearby. There's no hookshot available to start this initiation off. No vision. Actually, there is going to be a gem on Visage. Yeah, so Nyx can't quite sneak into this. Gonna scout things out with the wave. Roshan chasing, not sure that he's wants to give his Aegis up just yet. X comes in though, he grabs Frost off right off the bat. The 470 Clockwork is in as well. Anti pops up, pounding on a Hex. He gets out, but not for long. WWD is trying to pick him off his ball. They manage to do so. They're now after Potato Smasher. Potato Smasher is just manning up, fighting against Anti Peps up. It has WWD just being a bug, pestering him left to right in this whole team fight. One more to go down, but Frost is going to live to see another day. Roshan is going to get taken with a big team fight. One for TTK. We can see a Divine now.
Cheesy cheese. Yeah, now we could.
He doesn't have quite the money. He's about 2,000 off, but
yeah, but now we gotta count for holding other items.
Yeah, the Hanamite is just gonna have
Maybe
to go.
he shouldn't. Maybe the Aegis just goes elsewhere. Oh, trying to snipe it.
Yeah,
Didn't
they
get
did.
so lucky this time. Yeah. Did they snipe the cheese? At least? It looks like it.
Yeah, they did actually. Yep, snipe the cheese. Didn't
Yeah,
get
no
the
Aegis
cheese.
though. WWD right on top of Frost in the background on VS. Boots of Travel awarding that kill as he just wanted to get in on the tower and managed to find more as he was the only member of 2 Schwans that is up right now. So as a result, this tower taking a ton of damage. Matter of moments, 4.4k on his person. Demon Edge this time, Prove. This time.
It's gotta
is the
be. What
time.
else can he go for with that Demon Edge? It's gotta be.
I don't know.
Another Daedalus. Alright, he's just trolling.
Yeah. Exactly. It's going to be.
2 Daedalus, 2 good. Oh, he's gonna get picked off here unless he can time lapse out of this. He does manage to do so. Gets on the right side of the cogs as well. So Bullet is dodged there from WWD. He's tough. He's got plus 255 damage. That is something to be scared of.
Oh man, Chad is angry that I even mentioned Divine, but now I can mention Divine.
Joke's on you guys.
Yeah, joke's on you guys.
Divine.
Jerks. Yeah, that's what you get for insulting me. Now he's definitely going Divine. Because that's all he can go. How about that?
Yeah, there's
like
no
them
other
apples.
options. No other options.
TTK taking it down. God. 5K. He's able to even buy back, I'm pretty sure, if he just purchases this outright in a matter of maybe 2 creep waves. Trying to jump on Frost and Hacks was anti-pub. They cox him in, and he's able to eat his way out pretty efficient, and then force staff forward from Batrider to get him out of harm's way. WWD, the follow-up, and so the hook shot will be all for naught. No real team play that could have even backed that up. The only thing they could maybe even do here is try and cogs delay the base, but they're in for a rough ride here in a matter of moments. Razor ultimate got expend too. I should highlight that, as it's on cooldown for another 30 seconds.
Not a whole lot of buybacks in this game, and with this pressure coming down, TTK as they descend on this base, it's going to be scary for CHUANZ, and they've been on the back foot this whole game. They've done a wonderful job creating space for that PL, but it just hasn't been enough, because while the PL has had time to farm, WWD has also had that time to farm, and he's done such a wonderful job in doing so. Look at his gold per minute, 763. So far ahead of that PL, so he's done such a great job this game of staying in the game. He has 401 last hits to 292 on that PL, and the net worth is 33k to only 21k. I mean, WWD, you gotta commend that guy for how well he's been playing these games.
Every single game he's come up big for his team. So much money that it's almost becoming irrelevant. Smoke up from the CHUANZ squad, who actually won't find XCOM on top. They are exposed and they have no idea. Fingo is also still smoked with Enter on this bottom lane. They were looking both for picks aside, but they're about to get routed here in a matter of moments if things go all too well. And I don't think they have a port opportunity. XCOM porting away, they should let him go, and they do. And now in a lot of trouble is Anti-Pub. Ends up expending rage. He's going to eat his way out of the cogs. Weaver now joining into the fight. Ends up throwing his swarm only on 2 creeps and won't catch anyone else. Pub Stomp spliced out immediately with WWD, forced to expend time lapse and get away and just try and backtrack his movements forward. Blinking into the trees is Nyx on Enter the Mine, and he ports back to the base instead. And TTK loses 2-0. And it looks like CHUANZ is not ready to roll over dead just yet. And I feel like Batrider might not have been paying good enough attention to that fight, because they definitely knew that was coming if he was just looking on his screen.
Yeah, they needed to get
WWD
there fast enough. Just in time, too. Just in time. They need it for this fight. They've got to get Nyx back into it, though, before they can even fight. Does he have fight back? Yes, he does. So does Rubik.
All of them have
yeah, they're
buybacks.
good to go. They should be all right. And do they have they seen WWD yet? He's gonna be seen now. I don't think they have. Now he does. Yeah.
He's got a defusal too on the Lancer. For Dream gonna get just blitzed out. Flame Break to cancel the TP. Nothing he can do. Just dies against the hill. Loses the gem. They're trying to pressure the tower, and they manage to get the tier 3 down with illusions alone. And such is the nature of Cancer. Just kind of eats away when you're least expecting him to. And maybe it's a long shot. They might be able to defend.
WWD hits so hard. Unless they can just totally zone him out and just take him out of this fight, but even then he has time lapse.
I think it's up to Visage stuns. That's really. It's Visage stuns, and then can PL get on top of him? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the only lockdown that can hit him because of his LS. So it may be stupid of me to say, but whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good team fight, regardless of how this ends.
Look at this, just
yeah, he's done a good job pushing out the lanes at the very least. Top isn't going to be a concern for them. But he's got to defend. He can't be elsewhere. It can only be his illusions. This is going to be such
He's got travels, but he wouldn't be able to get back, obviously. So, this is going to be it for them. They got to get the lockdown, like you're saying, on WWD. It's all on their shoulders now. And they even know that, so they put the Mjolnir charge on him. He gets pushed forward, locked down. XCOM in the fray, sheeped up immediately. Good counter by Razor. with Pub Stomp right on top of Frost, able to eat him down, but he scepters, and now on the run is TTK, trying to reposition into the fight. Clock still trying to get in. Lights up WWD. He gets swapped out. Good steal from Rubik to keep his only carry option alive. Pub Stomp goes down though. Double kill for 4Dream. WWD on the run. Double kill of his own. PL down. Clock also down. Buyback out of Bad Rider. Godlike triple kill. WWD on a roll. But in the meantime, this is going on the top. Trade racks for a racks, maybe at worst. PL buys back. They are not going to get absolutely anything. PL should potentially port to the base, but WWD, all the wiser, recognizes they need to cut their losses and just take it for what it is. Gets back to base, and even though they win, they don't win. What an unfortunate turn.
It's a lot of buybacks that were expent, though, so there's not going to be that option again. Once all of TTK is back...
This is if they can fight over Roshan effectively, CHUANZ is automatically back into the game. If they effectively just delay another 5 minutes before TTK pushes, which might be likely, I would say at least 3 minutes, then don't you think they have an argument to again buy back?
Yeah, if it gets to that point, if they can buy enough time, but I think TTK has to put the pressure on them in order to do so. But in that fight, WWD took a lot of damage. Oh, they're sneaking around to him. He doesn't have boots of travel for another 5 seconds, but Razor can't catch up by any means and can't stop this TP either, so he's going to get away. If they could have picked him off, that would have been easily game with the Rapier going to somebody else. It's a nail-biter game again, ever. It's 41-39. It's so close at this point. The gold graphs are still very, very close. Just a 16k difference. XP 15k. So very, very close game. CHUANZ are definitely on the back foot. And with that Divine picked up, it's so scary for them. But all they need to do is pick off that Weaver. It's all they need to do.
Oh yeah, just get a Divine.
I make it sound easy.
Yeah, easy peasy, right? They almost managed, and if it wasn't for Rubik, actually, Weaver would have gotten picked off last team fight. That was a big play to spell steal the swap and actually apply it into a situation that put WWD back into the driver's seat and into a situation where he triple killed. And now Visage picks off the top range racks. That is dirty. He can actually port in the PL with those boots of travel if they want to go that far. I don't think they should though. This is dicey. They're gonna go for it again. This time for the other one. Look at how much damage these things deal. And to actually get resummoned, fight forthcoming. WWD trying to port in, gets canceled. They're in trouble. They're without their hard carry now, and it's on cooldown. Pupstomp trying to eat through Potato Smash. Lancer on a roll right now. About 5 illusions to his name, still needing to get through. Enter the Mind trying to bail out the Lifestealer with everything he's got. Vendetta expend, and CHUANZ backs off as Weaver finally arrives. XCOM looking for a potential pick. Has Lasso on cooldown for another 20 seconds. Gem as well. No Frost to swap out of this Lasso if things continue on. Buybacks, nothing on Frost. He's going to have to sit this one out. 300 gold shy. Bottom lane is also pushing through, but I don't think a base race is in the card for CHUANZ. WWD deals way too much damage, has 6k, and basically can take on their entire team given the right circumstance. And now Nae's bomb is loaded up inside Nyx Assassin. They're gonna go. There's the Lasso, nothing to get him out. Clockwork immediately eliminated, and Anti just taking him out, and this is improved. They need to buy back Hacks, trying to get back in. Potato on the run. He's gonna go down. He does not have a buyback for another 2.5 minutes, and TTK finally closes this one out.
Such a close game. That Divine was such a big game changer for TTK. How do you deal with that Weaver when he's dealing over 600 damage? He's maxed out. He has crits, which I haven't seen how big they are. I was hoping you would get one here, but I imagine they are quite large. And he dodges so much. 1600, I believe, was the crit that he just did. That's insane. I mean, he has farmed so well this game. He has 847 gold per minute. 535 last hits. His net worth is at 41k. There goes the GG.
Yeah, really good matches aside. CHUANZ look to be the underdog in both of these games. TTK coming up huge, even after restructuring their team mid-season from Wild Witch Doctors. We'll see if they keep the name, and kind of move forward here, but they now move up. They are 5-1-1. Is that correct? Yeah, 5-1-1 against 3-2-1 from two CHUANZ. I think is the correct scores. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nope, you're correct.
All right, I'm on it.
TTK is going to give eHug a run for their money. I'm excited to see that matchup. Yeah,
it's a full team reformation middle of the season, and they're still performing. I mean, I think two CHUANZ is indeed an underdog in this situation, but they are a solid team. They've been playing together for quite a while, as we mentioned, and we've had a chance to cast them over the course of maybe 2 years at this stage. So really solid performance out from them. Pushed it to game 3, didn't manage to delay enough to finish, and that is the end of our night for this best of 3 for CEVO-Main. My name is Ever. You can find me on Twitter at EverX, Prove at ProveDota, and the league is at CEVO on Twitter. Giving them a huge shout out. Make sure to follow the channel on Play CEVO-1 and Play CEVO-2, as we have games almost every single night of the week rebroadcast on Friday. So Monday through Thursday, we are live with casters such as ourselves, Healy Umbrella, Gorgon the Wonder Cow, Chicago Ted. I'm going to forget someone in here. Yeah, Toffees. I was almost going to call them Frosties. I'm not going to lie. Oh, well. Just jumbling words this evening. But such is the nature. I'm going to let you outro from here on out, Prove. Thank you guys for a fun night over in the chat. I know we were the lower game on Join Dota, therefore didn't attain as many viewers, but it was a fun one seeing a Rapier come out and having such great team fights. So have a great night. We'll see you guys all next week, and take it on out, Prove.
Yeah, we definitely had an active chat tonight, so thanks guys for kind of brainstorming about the game. It's always great to see that. I obviously can't read too much, but I did catch a few things here and there, and I would love to chat some more after this game finishes on up. But thanks so much for joining us. Please pop us a follow. It makes Ever and I feel like we're doing a great job here, and that you guys actually do like us despite the flame that we might get every once in a while. It's alright. Constructive criticism is great. Otherwise, guys, have a great night. It's been fun. We'll see you on Wednesday. At least Ever will be here on Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to make it home in time for any of the games. So I do apologize for that, but it has been a great night. Great best of 3 series. Excited to see what two CHUANZ can do with the rest of the season of CEVO to get themselves some more wins to be eligible for the playoffs. But TTK are having such a great season thus far, and I hope they can